Hello world, I'm What If Study, and today we are doing What If Deku had lost Class 1A, Part 6. We continue where Deku stares forward at this destruction, this incarnate of desperation and despair. But he feels nothing but pity. Maybe it's because it's from me. Maybe it's just because it's just sad to see him rock around like I did before. But I don't feel any hatred towards you. I only wish to help. You idiot. You think you can just hug this out, Deku? You think you can just destroy everything that I've built up until now? Why are you hurting people? Whatever your name is. Call me Dark. I don't know. All I know is the pain that you have given me. Maybe you need a reminder. Don't you know what they'll do to you? Don't you know what everybody here is here for? Deku, how stupid can you be? I am the representation of your despair. I know what will happen, and I know best. Trust me when I say this. You and I, we will control this world. We'll destroy all the heroes, and then replace them with ourselves, and become the strongest. Just what everybody wanted us to. Become immortal. Do everything. That's not what I want, though. Don't you understand? That's what everybody else sees me as. That's what everybody wants me to be. The top hero. But you can't just kill your way to the top. What do you suggest then, Deku? They hunted you down. They're gonna hunt down our friends now, too! Don't you understand? What do you mean? The city around them collapsing as they talk. Huge, craters in the middles of them, just starting to blow up dust clear into Deku's eyes, sort of coating them. Toga hides behind Deku, shifting into the invisible girl trying to get away. However, is stopped by, the invisible girl, as she's invincible as a shadow, and is forced back behind Deku. Deku looks up. What has happened to make you try to hurt others? I know I wanted to hurt myself, but not others. Never! What has happened? Don't you understand what they'll do? What? They were planning on attacking the underground. No, how would you know this? That's impossible. They wouldn't even know where it is. How did you get this information? By the very man that gave us the pill. You tried to cast us out. I tried to cure myself. You tried to get rid of us. I was just trying to get away. I know. Then why? Why all of this? To protect you. Exactly, Deku. Don't you understand? We are the future. We would destroy everything in our way, and thus be able to become the top one hero. No one will have to worry about such mockery and such evilness inside of the hero system. No one! They won't have to fear for their lives. No one. He starts to hear stomping. Rip my camera. As this light starts to bust out of the bottom of the stairs. He hears a groaning voice while booming at the same time. Sorry for the horrible impression of Endeavor. Deku! Where's that boy? I saw him going into the city around this way. It's not enough that this whole place has been destroyed. Now this hospital? God damn it. Deku! As then he just kicks down the door to the top of the ceiling. You know, Deku and the Shadow are just both disturbed and are just like confused on what Endeavor's doing here. As he says, "What's up with all the heroes gone?" Whatever. Deku, we have a situation. You better get your ass in gear, or else. And then he noticed a shadow behind one of the desks on this floor. He instantly turns around, aiming a fire blast with his right arm. However, it's then reflected right back at him. Deku says, "Stop!" But the fireball already consumes Endeavor. He absorbs it back into his body as he says, "I see. These are the shadows. Finally, I can get rid of the pest myself. I am the second top hero after all. It is my duty." Endeavor, stop! He's not our enemy. What are you talking about, Deku? Have you gotten insane just like him? What a turn of events! Oh, this is quite fun. Quite fun. Alright. Time for everybody to just calm down. Now. What now? What is it, Deku? What do you want? The shadow, it's already moved. I know that. It's already probably left this whole ceiling. That's why I calm myself down. Deku just looks exasperated. I mean, he's just like, what the fuck? Endeavor, calm down. Endeavor's like, don't calm me down. I'm always ready to get rid of a villain. As he says, it's not a villain, okay? The shadow comes up from his own shadow, and says, maybe you need a reminder of what will happen if you let him get away. A knife comes out from the shadows. Bakugo's hand puts it on top of Toga's. Endeavor continues his conversation with Deku, saying that all of the heroes have been called out of the destruction zone by the government, as there was also nuclear strike, nuke strikes that were supposed to happen on the city. However, all of the planes were destroyed by the combination of the shadows. Basically Ida plus Bakugo to just like propel them up into the air, and then Ida to glide them across, Momo to help them float in the middle of the air, and Bakugo to basically just blow up any of the nuclear strikes that are coming their way, and just destroying all airstrikes that are possible. That combination was always thought up by Deku, however, was never used until this point. Until Deku remembers about this, and then thinks back to where the shadow is, and turns around to see the shadow having a knife to Toga's throat. Toga looks up to him with the knife scuffing the bottom side of her cheek. Deku, don't worry. Toga, look at me. The shadow. It's me. I know. I know. If you die, I won't break. I would hope you wouldn't. I wouldn't ever want you to hurt even more than you ever did. Please swear to me that you won't break like you did before. Deku reminds himself, almost forcefully. His memory was thrown back to a time where he was broken. All of his friends had died, and Toga and him were soaring across the sky, touching the stars together. It was the first time he lost his virginity, but it was also the time that he had realized that he was not alone anymore. That was his family. The people of the world were his family, not the people of the overworld. Those in the underground accepted their relationship as king and queen of the underground. Those people were his best friends, his new family. And then once he finally saw the shadows, once he finally spoke to them, they became his new family again. But now that he's lost them, what family is he left with but the underground and Toga? Is there nothing that he can hold on to without losing it? He doesn't know if he'll break. He doesn't know if he'll recover from it. He can't accept that. More despair than he's ever felt before released around Toga. Endeavor aiming a gigantic blast straight at the shadows. Deku's emotions crumble again. They start to recombine, shift, but he can't allow that to happen. He won't. He can't. Until oh, finally, I got up here. As this, sly-haired, almost like a Bakugo copy, and yet he looked more Australian. Oh, finally, I got up to the ceiling. Oh, good, you're all here. Endeavor just stops his flame blast in his hand and just looks over and says, "Who the fuck?" As, this guy, we'll just call him Junkrat, says, "Oh, that's good. Alright. Prepare to meet your ends, heroes and villains." As Deku's like, the fuck is he talking about? He takes out two detonators inside of his hands and opens up his jacket as it reveals, 15 rolls of explosions on his chest. He says, Endeavor says, "That's why they got rid of everybody and put them outside the city." No! As he covers everybody in a fire shield around all of the people, including Deku and Toga. As he says, "Goodbye, heroes! It was a nice life, I'll tell you that. But this is our time for descendants, for the world to be reset! Bye. As, he clicks both of the detonators, the whole city lights up. This moment of absolute silence is heard. No, felt. And then it spans across the seaboard, destroying all land and upheaving several underground bunkers. Nothing survived the explosions. He had been planting those for almost 3 hours now, after the villain attack started. No one was left. Oh, fuck. Deku reels back in his hair, covering out all of the dust and smoke. He can barely even see just from all the gray meticulousness of the patterns everywhere. He could barely move. He slithered among the ground, trying to find Toga, calling out for her name in desperation. He continued along his way down, farther, in this underground subterranean layer of nothingness, of death. There were no bodies, but it was just rubble. The bodies of the people, of the souls of the people, were inside. Deku slipped down into this valley, and landing inside of the water, it covered up to his knees. He looked around to see 3 points of entry. The sides of these, and the 3 bridges at those points that spanned across the valley. On the top of this valley, it was a hill. The massive hill was part of the central area of the hospital. All the people that had been in here had, taken refuge in there. He starts to climb up his way until he hears clashing. Not swords, but just brutality, and explosions at the same time. He sees gigantic flames rise from the left of him. He finally gets a good view as he gets onto one of the bridges. There were about a dozen of the shadows trying to take down Endeavor, as he constantly inflamed his body, spreading the flames among all of the shadows. Flames were basically the only things that could reveal them out of invisibility and also hurt them. Endeavor basically coats his body in flames, as all of the shadows are bursted back. Deku searches among the rubble, seeing all of the different shadows defeated. He walks up to Endeavor that takes a kneel and tries to recover his flames. He puts his hand on his shoulder as, Endeavor's quite freaked as he says, "Don't you dare touch me. Sorry, Deku. God damn it. The fuck happened here? I swear I'd kill that man if I saw him again. We can't do anything now. Have you seen Toga? Why are you asking me? You should go ask her yourself." He points back at the hospital in the middle of the room. He opens up the door, exasperated. He's just absolutely elated that she's still alive, and looks over to see Toga with all of the people. Her scars and the beatings that she took from the underground subterranean rugged terrain had done to her. She was torn away from his hand and was sent into this hospital. Endeavor was apparently protecting all the people inside. I guess Endeavor really has changed. He starts to hear footsteps. After he hugs Toga as hard as he can, he starts to hear footsteps behind him when he starts to leave the hospital to the door, and looks back to see a knife up to her throat once more. But it wasn't a shadow. No, it wasn't a shadow. It was the secret agent. The man with the sunglasses. Alright, Deku. Somehow you survived all of that. You didn't survive in here, I know that for sure. But now, your lass is going to die. He sticks up the pen knife up to her throat and starts to, thrust it into her neck. Deku just looks back. He knows he can't do anything. He's too far away. There's nothing he can do. It's too much. He can't run that fast. Nor can he even do anything. Throw a rock? No, he'll just hit her. He's using her as a body protect. There's nothing he can do. He tries to get himself to move as fast as he can, but he's too late. It starts to inject into her throat, going farther as Toga stabs him in the stomach, but he continues to inject it farther into her throat. Any farther and it would kill her. And then an explosion fires him off into the distance, into the glass, shatters on the hospital, glass, and he goes flying out into the front lawn, landing before the feet of Endeavor. It was Bakugo's shadow. It had turned to have some sort of yellow highlighting around the sides of it. Endeavor looks over to the body that he just finds that's scorched in explosions and runs into the hospital to find Deku hugging Toga as Toga's, getting like surgery done on her throat, and Bakugo just sitting there. Endeavor starts up like a flame ball until Deku's like, "Stop! Everyone! He's not... He saved her, alright?" Endeavor's like, "Alright. Whatever. Whatever tales you want to tell yourself. Tell yourself. But we're stuck here forever now. Until there's excavation units, well, we're not going to get out of here. It was the special agent, wasn't it, Deku?" Yeah. God damn. This whole day has been one hell of a ride. But fun. Endeavor smiles. Actually, elated at this fact. Deku, confused at his smiling, asks him what he's smiling about. It's been generally just horrible this whole time. The Shadow, also interested in this. He says, well, in desperate times, in those where, you find yourself up against a wall and there's nothing left to do but laugh. A good sense of humor will always guide those who are weak to victory. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say, Endeavor. They all have a good laugh over this. I'll leave you guys at that one. Good. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.